was in the other one today, and I was like, boy, this thing is like getting run right downhill.
Yeah, it's been hit by lots of vehicles. You gotta fix it up when that happens. You can't just let it go.
Well, I mean, like, 3 years ago, we got that load of loom out there, and it's still sitting there. I mean, now, like,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even weed whacked a load of loom that was brought to them.
Yeah.
Like,
Where's that?
Troy mini store, he's just like, just letting it go. I was in there today and it was just like, they mow half the place because the rest of it isn't finished. I mean, the trees that got cut down are starting to regrow.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
So, no bakes.
Yeah, yeah, they're
Yeah.
incredible.
No baking.
They are. I need to stay away from them, so I'll eat that whole tray.
You got a knife. Is that thing ready to go?
All done.
Call it to order for 6:05. Any public comment? You're the only public. Any comments?
No, I don't
Okay.
think, other than I've read some of this stuff and I think it's great.
I make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes from July 10th as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. There we go. See you at the 10th.
So the other one we're waiting on is the 27th. Do we have those yet, Bill?
Nope, sorry. I'm good. When we hire a lady down here, well,
Person.
I thought the only people we were looking at were ladies, but we don't discriminate. That's all we've had interesting.
Yeah, Chris will table that for now. Other business, Tom Willis report.
All right. So, well 3 is running. It works. They had to jump. Something happened inside the box as well. That is, he thought it was a motor, a soft start, but it's not. It's something else. He told me what it is, but so I have to get the electrician there to replace that. But I can run it. What I do is we jumped it, so I just run it off the breaker. So I was able to grab samples. I grabbed the quarterly fluoride. I grabbed the first round of bacteria, which it failed. So the second round, I'm assuming passed because she didn't call me. If that fails, I'm shocking the well again. Nothing's going to the system. It's all just going to waste. So it's not going to go to the system until everything comes back clean. But it is up and running. I've been flushing it every day for a few hours just to get some turnover. I've got to start working on the SOP for that well as well. I'm going to reach out to Tom Willis tomorrow and talk to him. And then I spoke to...
That's an SOP for all wells, right?
Yeah.
And we are like deadline next week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have that done. As far as well 4, they said the only thing you can do is frack it. And
Well 4. Remind me which one's that.
the one that doesn't produce.
Up next to
Oh,
the tank.
the 12 gallons per minute or
Yeah.
whatever one.
Yeah, it doesn't
On the specified.
grab.
Okay. Do we care? Is that anything we want to even entertain? Aren't we producing enough from everything else?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're producing a ton of water.
but from a permitting standpoint.
Yeah, we need,
Can we make some adjustments to?
I'll see if we can do something with that. I'll talk to Tom on that.
Sorry.
So, to be clear, so they're saying the only thing we can do is we gotta frack it to be able
So
to put in his.
hopefully, which, if I remember right, that was fracked when they first put it in.
Oh, so Cushion did it, so he should have all the
Yeah.
information on that
Yeah.
right on hand. So, but there's no decommissioning it.
I'm not sure. I'd have to talk to Tom on that one. So I'm gonna reach out. I'll reach out to Tom tomorrow morning. Give him a status update on everything that's going on.
It's especially aromatic in here today, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where that's coming from.
I don't know either. I noticed it earlier.
Is it the beginning of like a dead mouse or something?
It
or-
might
yeah,
be.
Okay, that's makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like just it's just a hint, but it's definitely
Well, I noticed it
starting to
down
get
the
a little, like,
hallway earlier, and I was like,
what does that smell? I mean, we're at the sewage treatment plant after
Yeah.
all, so who knows, but
it does smell like
it's more than normal.
all right.
My boss. Thank
Oh.
you, dear.
Hello.
Hello.
Have a good night.
Not staying, I guess. Taking you right out of the minutes.
Yeah, you do that.
You don't want
Emberly's report, we haven't done anything with that.
Back to the well real quick. I mean, even if it's only producing a couple gallons a minute, I mean, even if we just cycle it just to add to our source, isn't that good enough, right? I mean,
Yeah, as long as
I mean, we're
as long
making
as we
plenty
don't
of
have
water,
But
so
yeah, we
is
can
it an
do
issue
that.
with it just sitting there stagnant, I guess?
Yeah, it would have to be. We'd have to flush it and test that one.
So as long as we put it in a cycle
Yeah.
within our SOP, we should be good.
Yep. Yep.
That would
I
be
gotta figure
reasonable,
out-
as long as we don't have to repair it, as long as it's.
Well, that's what
it actually
I
works.
guess that's what I'm asking, is like,
Let it
we're
rain.
making twice the water we need, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
we're
so
making
we're
twice the
making-
water we need, so, I mean, so if we just put it in the SOP to be, whatever, we
Yeah.
cycle it once a, whatever it is, once a
Yeah.
month, then,
That's the smarter way to do it. I just
Sure,
thought
go over
that
the
well
bank.
needed more attention than that.
Yeah.
I thought it
No,
needed
I-
more attention than that, but if it runs, as long as we get it shocked and cleaned and
Yeah.
cycled, and we don't have to put a $8,000-9,000 pump in it to make that happen, then.
Yeah.
no, I think
Yeah,
the
that
pump's
makes
good
sense.
in that one.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm pretty confident, I just think.
I haven't
there's
tried
only-
it. I've been focusing on 3, so.
Could you just put it on a timer, so you don't wouldn't
No,
have to
that's
refrac it
like,
once a month?
that's wicked future stuff, like, we've been talking about that for
Yeah.
2 years now, is like
It's
putting
there,
all of
yeah,
them on
yeah.
timers, so,
Yeah.
but, he's there every day.
Emberly's report, we haven't done anything with, as far as the basement, getting that cleaned out yet, or the pad.
What was the deadline on that one, Justin, do you remember?
I can't remember offhand.
I don't know if he had deadlines baked into that or
I
not.
don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. It's kind of like before he comes back next year, all the crap should be done.
Yeah.
So we got the 2 reports 11 months apart that had the same things on it, so that's our goal should to not have that happen.
Just have this.
Repeat offenses.
Yeah.
Which it seems like we're well on our way for avoiding that.
Yeah. The generator grant. So I have called her and reached out, emailed multiple times. I called her and emailed her today. No reply. I've gotten a ballpark quote, a high ballpark quote from CAT for a turnkey system, and it's pretty expensive.
So can we first talk about where we're at currently?
Right, I was just gonna say, we need to get, you gotta update everybody
Yeah.
on where we're at.
So they put the board in. It's not the board. The board was fried. You could see it was smoked.
So it's more than the board.
It's more than the board. It's something on the back side of the actual generator. It's when he put the board in and tried to turn it on, it was tripping a breaker for the back side of the motor. So it's going, something's going to ground. So you can He said we could pull that out, that whole unit out, bring it to Farrar. They'll rewind the whole thing and get it back. Or, but he said it's going to be like $6,000 roughly just to do that. And then you're in the same boat with it's still an old
1980
generator that you still can't get parts for.
Right. Okay.
So,
So before you get to the quote, so that means it's expensively, potentially repairable. Does he think that that's going to fix it?
potentially repairable, but he was leaning towards not even bothering with
Okay.
that.
So,
And that's the powers up guy, the
right, so,
service guy.
I guess my question with that being, like, because the thing only has a couple hundred hours on it. If it's let's say just $7,000 to fix it, can we put a different control panel in there to a later model control panel? Is that plausible?
I don't know. I can ask him.
I mean, I was under the impression when we talked earlier today that it was in the control panel that we were having issues. Now you're telling me it's the windings and the thing, so
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we got the windings rewound and then put a whole different control panel in there, would we be, because I can just imagine when you say extremely, I can just imagine. So,
135.
yep,
Yeah.
but there again.
We're talking about like a 3-phase, like how many kilowatt generator?
Yeah,
we're talking about?
that was gonna be my
60. I want to say it was a 60.
So, when Justin and I spoke about this earlier, this generator that Cat's proposing is not, is actually moving it up on high ground as well. Because we all
Yeah,
know
and
we got a
outdoor.
floodplain issue down there, so they didn't want to, correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't want to put the generator back in the building because of the floodplain.
So this
To
would
pull
just be
it.
an outdoor standby like you
Yeah.
see all over the place at hospitals.
Yeah. He said that would be cheaper. Because you're talking a lot of labor to put that, slide it in. Slide it in, they've got mechanical guys showing up to do all the piping.
Yep. And the 135 is for the putting it in the building, or?
No, the standby unit outside.
Wow. 135,000, just.
Yes.
So that's soup to nuts, ain't it? That's the whole,
Yeah.
they contract an electrician and everything.
Turnkey package.
But even then, though, I feel like when we were talking about a generator, we'll get back to the grant stuff here in a second, but when we were talking about the grant, it was looking like preliminary figures were in the $60,000 handle.
Yeah.
And that was 8 months ago.
Yep. Not even that. I think our last quote was June 3rd.
And what was the price for that quote?
54,125.
Oh, all right. So there's a disconnect here.
Yeah, but you gotta remember back on that, there was a ballpark shot too. It'd be like that was I don't think they came out and walked.
Well, if
I
even
just-
at a ballpark, that's not in the stadium. That's not in the,
I-
based on what the other quote
I
is.
agree
so-
110%, I just,
In any case, so can we get back to the grant? Because I believe the grant was going to match funds on this, so.
Yeah.
When I talked to Mike briefly about it yesterday, it sounded like he might jump in to try to help out, maybe calling, whoever's in the phone tree up there
Yeah.
to try and figure out who's gonna, how to get our answers, I
Yeah.
guess. Because
Really, the biggest thing is if we were to buy one, do we get reimbursed 50%?
Yes,
If
exactly.
we get it, like that's my biggest question.
Yeah,
Like, can
yeah.
we move forward with this
Yeah.
and then?
And the fact that they're not returning calls, it makes me wonder if this person is no longer the contact for us or doesn't work there anymore. I don't understand.
Well, I call their office phone number and it forwards to their cell phone.
And who is this? Is it
It's
somebody that's helping write grants, or is it somebody from the grant
It's
office?
from somebody from the grant office. It's the number who Rhonda was contacting.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
So.
All right. to sort that out.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
immediately.
we are without generator.
Yes.
Okay. There is no.
There's
so,
no backup as of right now, but I'm leaning towards getting the backup down here.
Look.
I've got the quote on it, but I just haven't pulled the trigger yet.
What is the quote?
It was like 4,000 or something like that. That's to get transported down here, set up, and for a month.
In the
then-
month. Okay. We paid
then-
7 last time.
And then
Well,
the,
that's what
then
I-
the month, then it's a less charge, obviously,
Right.
for the
After that,
after
once it's
that.
here, you pay the
Yeah.
monthly fee. But
Yeah.
it was $7,000 for that same exact
Yeah.
thing you're talking about. So that sounds way better.
Yeah. Well, into the-
It doesn't sound like we're getting this resolved immediately. It seems
Yeah.
like we have to get the standby here.
I know I was.
Because what are we?
Well, I mean, I kind of like to
know.
know I mean, Ferraris, I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter, but get a phone call into Ferrara to ask them
Yeah.
about winding this thing, and then,
Right.
Either way, that'll buy us a little bit of time to get this sorted out.
right, if we can
figured
buy, if
out.
we can get it rewound and get it, I mean, this thing has value,
Yeah.
so I think if we can get it rewound and get a new control panel in here,
Right.
we have value
Yeah,
here.
because the $4,000 is just gone. If we have to bring it up
Absolutely.
a rental, it's just
And I don't,
totally
I mean,
gone.
they
Rather
they
put
make
$4,000
this,
into the old junk than.
and honestly, they keep, we did get a quote to take that thing out of there, and it was phenomenal to remove that thing out of that building. I don't see the big cost, but, and I think that,
To remove that from the building, yeah, that.
I mean, Justin and Open, get it all hooked, and with the ramp truck, we'll have it out of there in 2 hours flat.
I pulled a massive fire pump out of Millipore last year,
So I don't,
like 20,000 gallon a minute pump, like huge pump.
Good.
With a loader.
We need that
so-
experience.
but I so that's just my opinion.
How long would it take to pull the guts out of this thing, send it up to Farrar, and have them put it back together, even if it costs us $6,000 or whatever? How long would that?
Well,
take?
I mean, you tell me, I think it would be better just to pull the whole unit. Power
Whatever.
plant, yeah, pull the whole power plant, cause
Yeah.
it's bolted in there. Just
Yeah,
take the whole power
however,
plant
however
down.
we do it, it sounds like that's the easy part, is getting the thing out so somebody can, do whatever with it. But Farrar is obviously, we're gonna drop it off at their shop, and they're gonna have to. What's the turnaround time? Do you have any idea?
I have no clue.
That's okay, I guess that's where I was, just,
Yeah.
can we get a phone call out to them and tell them how important this thing really is, and maybe they,
Yeah.
and there again, they may bust into it and be like, nope, it's this little diode right here, and you're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
you
they
got-
can load test it too,
Yeah.
they must have a way to load test them and everything, so
Would you
Yeah.
bring the whole unit to them?
I would, that would be my opinion.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be yours? I think it'd
Yeah.
be weird, I mean,
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't, and I wouldn't personally feel comfortable cutting that thing in two.
I got a little Predator I can bring down in the meantime.
I got two, hey, I got two, so if we put one on each leg,
Yeah.
think that'll work, Bill?
Yeah, we'll wire them up in parallel and get it going.
Like the solar panels on Mill Street.
Yeah.
Can we just run an extension cord from this one to
Those
there?
not even tried to comment on that.
Yeah.
You can
Let's
run
get
it.
more.
Yeah. It'd be a nice light bulb for about 10 seconds. Yeah. So yeah, Justin, you're
So
up.
this-
I guess it would really come down to is the control panel.
I could have Steve's number that from Powers Up. I can give him a call and just.
So the control panel just senses the fact that the power's down and then switches over and turns the generator on.
AB switch, I guess is what it really is, right? It just swaps. So when the power
No.
goes down, it starts the generator.
No, it's like a breaker inside on the actual control panel itself for the.
So it doesn't automatically turn on, you have to call somebody and you have to go flip the breaker?
No, that's the transfer switch. That's separate.
Okay.
That's the automatic transfer switch. This is actually on the control panel of the.
So this
of
is
the
all,
generator.
so like if we pull the unit out, everything we're talking about is going with it anyways.
No, you can slide it out of the bottom. You don't have to pull the
But
whole.
it's mounted to the generator itself. It's not on the
Yeah,
wall.
there's yeah.
Yep.
underneath.
I'm sorry, I mean.
Yes, it's mounted to the generator.
Okay,
on the
well.
bottom. Yeah, it's fully accessible. You can
Yeah.
get right to it.
Okay.
He had the thing opened right up, so it's not like you do have to pull the whole generator out of the building. You can do it right there.
Oh.
Well, it seems to me that we've batted this around. You have some ideas from the commission, and I think it would be our thought that if we could get this thing up and running in the meantime, that would be great. If we can do it soon enough that we don't have to rent something, that would be even better, and continue to work this grant situation, and then we'll just buy one.
Yep. Do you want me to
But-
give this guy a call and just see if it's?
If you can get all of them right now, let's do it, right? I mean, I don't wanna wait till 2 weeks from now to get,
What are we asking him? This is the guy from Powers Up.
if that whole
Yeah.
thing can be changed, the control panel.
It can be updated to be
Something
modernized.
else, yeah.
Currently, we're still able to get that control panel because it's the second time we've replaced it.
No,
so.
this is a part behind it.
No, I know that, but.
This is Steve.
Hey, Steve. This is Justin with the Town of Troy Water Department.
What's up?
Hey, you're on speaker. We're in a meeting here with the Board of Commissioners.
Okay.
Just had some questions about the generator down at the pump station. So,
School Street.
School Street.
Yep.
Now, is it possible to replace that control panel on that?
Yeah, it's possible to upgrade it. It's probably a couple $1,000, but I mean, engine-wise, I think the engine's solid. It's just there could be something in the back end that's shorted out. So.
Yep.
You know, we can put a controller on, but if the back end's shorted, then we got a bigger issue. So. Then you're talking $5,000 to $10,000 to rewind the whole back end. So.
Yep.
But
So-
yeah, it's definitely possible to upgrade the controller on.
All right.
What would be the best way to do that?
What do you think what's your opinion on it? Like, would be the best way, cost-effective wise, to do that?
Oh, that's the main issue is we got to get the back end tested. Maybe have Farrar come out from Hakeem there,
Yep.
and they could measure the back end and just make sure the back end's good. And if the back end's good, then we can swap out the controller with a new updated voltage regulator and the whole 9 yards. I think you get by it for quite a few more years if the engine stays solid. So.
All right.
Sounds like that's our plan.
All right.
Is there anybody you recommend you talk to? Anybody at Ferraris can?
Anybody at Ferrari you recommend we talk to, or?
No, just call over there. They're all pretty good over there. So.
Okay.
But yeah, just let them know, you want them to come out and test the back end, make sure everything's good, and they'll let you know if it needs to be rewound or if just the exciter's bad or something like that. So.
Okay.
And then if they say it's good, then we can give you a quote for the upgrade control and all that. So.
Okay.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
There we go.
They always want to sell.
All right. So I'll give Ferrari a call first thing in the morning. I see Matt at the gym in the morning sometimes too. So
Okay.
I don't know if he's the owner now. I don't know if his dad's still around. But
I don't know the group at all.
I remember going down there years ago when we pulled the motor off of Gravel Pack 2 and had that redone. This was back, Jesus, when I first started.
Gravel Pack 2. I thought that was
Or Gravel Pack 1.
Okay.
Gravel Pack 1, sorry.
Alright.
Alright. So, alright, we got a plan for that. Meter replacement. I don't know if you guys want to continue keep going on this or table it, but I did get a proposal for the census support.
All right, remind us again what component of all of this is.
It's their support system through census, so if we have any problems,
So this is like an annual subscription.
Yep.
Okay.
And we
That's
usually
software.
do it. I don't know if you guys continued it. We always did it when I was
That's
here.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's $3,500 for the year. So,
Alright. So, just a quick recap on that. What were we looking at grand total to upgrade everything and have somebody actually come in and do it?
the quote on that was, I know, Mike took the paperwork on that. Or got copies of it. The grand total to have somebody do it was $234,588.
Okay, right. Yeah, just needed a refresher.
And that's to replace all the meters, I believe.
I think it was
Yeah.
all but the ones that don't need to be replaced, right? I think we had a.
Yeah, it
few
was
different
all but
jobs.
like a few eye
Yeah.
pearls.
Yeah, yeah. And then this 3,500 annually, our current subscription would go away, whatever that is, and this would be the new subscription, is that?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know what our current subscription is on that?
I'm not sure. I'd have to get a hold
Okay.
of them.
Alright.
It's the software support is what it is.
I think we need to go in this direction at some point, I just don't think it's right now,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully you'll have, after the next read, you'll have Tobin up to speed to be able to go around and do readings.
He's taken it on pretty good. I
Good.
showed him. We've done some final reads, so he knows what to do.
Good.
He knows how to wire them. Yeah,
Good.
he's good at turning wrenches, which is good. Mike. Russell Lab project. So I finally ran into Gary yesterday and talked to him, and apparently now I heard they're not paving Russell Lab this year. I don't know.
Because of, they were told not to because what was happening with the Spartan. Because there was, was it gonna happen, was it not gonna happen, were you guys gonna replace the lines or not?
Yeah,
Replace
well,
what
we're-
lines?
The water lines.
Yeah, I know, what water lines, are the main lines or the,
All John said was lines. So if you guys
Well,
want, the biggest thing is we don't wanna pave it and then dig it right back up.
right,
Any
what
parts.
lines though, that's what I'm trying to, like, I think there's a huge confusion here, what lines are getting replaced?
Well, I think
Service
that's on
line.
us, I think that's on us to figure out, but,
No, I think, because he just said that Johnny was told not to pay Russell Ave because they're changing the lines. There's no upgrades to mains going on we're not even going down that road at this point.
no, I realize that, but aren't we, where are we at currently from your conversations with John? Like, what did we need to do?
I've been trying to get a hold of John. I've
Right.
called him, been to the garage. I ran into Gary, and I would like to get the backhoe next week and get a couple services done anyways. But the last I heard is they're not doing they're not paving. So I was
Okay.
like, but I'd still like to get them done.
Yeah,
That way
definitely. That way that we
that
can
we're
be
ahead of the
covered.
game.
Yep.
If you pave it next year, great.
Yep, okay, so this works,
We're done.
Well, it doesn't,
okay,
because what is the plan of attack? That's what we needed to know, the plan of attack, because we don't need to go down and change services if he's expecting us to pave all those back in. We're just like throwing hot top in it.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't wanna,
It would
Yep.
waste some money on hot top.
I don't wanna waste the budget on hot top and then we got a break over here and then you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yep. How many
a
services?
hot top is minimal.
yep. How many services?
7.
7 services.
Yep.
And what kind of digging does this involve? Like, how much hot top do you need to replace?
Well,
Like,
I
in
mean, the whole road is
service?
terrorized, like, so this is, we've had a bunch of repairs,
No, I
we've
know,
done a
I
bunch of
mean-
repairs already on the street because it was getting paved this year.
Yeah,
Now he's saying, or they're saying that it's not getting paved this year,
yeah.
but his,
Just sounds like a communication breakdown between the
Well,
two departments, that's all. I'm just trying to find some
I get
common
it,
ground here.
and so John told me he was coming to the last meeting, but we had a shut off for that new hydrant we just put in was nuked by the loader.
Yeah, during the
So
plowing last year.
Right,
Yeah,
so I don't know, I guess we gotta meet with them and the highway department and get it on the board.
Get a plan going.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because
And so then we can do our service lines when it's appropriate, when we feel like it's appropriate, but within the timeline that they are paving. However we wanna do that, but once we have an idea of when they're going to be paving, then we can take that action. If we wanna do it earlier, we'll just put the hot top back in to hold the thing together until, if we wanna wait until spring and do it then, if that's what makes sense. I don't know what the plan is.
We got manholes, all upgrade down through there, we got 7 services and everything, so,
Yeah,
I mean, there's,
The manholes won't take very long.
no, they
That'll
won't,
be-
but.
As long as, once we get elevations, it'll be,
I'm just confused, does the delaying of the paving help us or hurt us? I'm not understanding what's going on.
It doesn't do anything if it is, I don't
It
wanna,
doesn't-
it doesn't do anything to us, but unless we have to dig it. If we dig it now and we have to pave it,
Yeah,
paving all the 7 patches,
yeah,
it's just a waste of money.
right,
Yeah.
right,
And
but I mean, what are we
time.
talking about, right, like
$1,000
10-ton?
$1,000 plus
Yeah,
trucking,
80
plus,
trucking.
you know what I mean, we get charged for the 1 tons,
Yeah.
we get, so, I mean, it's just like $1,000 means a lot to us at this moment.
Yeah, no, I realize that, I'm just.
We got other hydrants that need to be, you know, we got
Mhm.
like Water Street hydrant, we got a couple other in town that could be changed,
Yeah,
you know, so we got better places to waste 10-ton hot top.
yeah, so putting this off until next year will give everybody an opportunity to talk about it, come up with a solid plan, so
I
that,
hate to see the project get put off another year, but that's just my opinion.
well,
Yeah.
I mean,
But
as far
I-
as the water department's concerned, we can, at that point, we can coordinate so that we can dig these things up and they stay loose gravel for a short period of time and new asphalt will go in by the town. And that
Right.
way we don't have to waste that hot top, is that what we're trying to do? Okay. That-
Well, yeah,
that
but
makes sense.
I guess where I'm saying is if, are they saying the service lines that need to be replaced, cause that's only gonna take him like 3 days,
Yeah,
right? Or if they're thinking that it's the water mains.
well, we're not doing the water mains, right?
So he said waiting on services to be done last I knew. He hasn't had a minute to really talk with you yet because he's been swamped.
So, now, see, that's where the confusion's coming, because he just said that they weren't paving it. He just said that Johnny was told not to pave Russell Ave till the water lines were
Yeah.
done. So my question is, what water lines are you talking about? Are we talking about services or water mains?
Whatever water lines we want to change. Am I
Are
not-
they,
am I not
yeah,
getting it?
are they saying the water mains or are they saying water services?
Why do we care what
We
they're saying?
told him to talk to Justin
Yeah.
to figure out they're on hold
I'm
because
confused. I'm really confused.
things wanted to be done.
This project has been put off for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Because there's some speculation that we're upgrading the water mains down through Russell Ave,
Okay.
and that's not the case.
And we're not doing that, yeah.
Right, so if this is the role that we're gonna start going, is we're not paving roads because the water mains, like, nothing's ever gonna get paved.
That doesn't sound like the case, that's not the case, is it, DJ?
No?
Okay, that doesn't sound like the case, so we're all in agreement that it's services that are, and we just wanna be able to do the services right before paving, that way we don't have to
Well, we'll do,
put
I
in
mean, he
that.
can do, he just,
Well, if he does the services now, and they
he
don't pave
could
it until
do,
next
he
year.
could do a couple services a day, is what I'm saying, so if Johnny says, we're paving October 1st,
Yeah,
done and over with. He'll be done in a week.
right, no, I get that, but they,
But he just said,
Yeah.
Gary told them they're not doing it this year because, and then he responded to that. He said Johnny was told not to pave it till the water lines are done.
Yes, he's supposed to work with the water and sewer department because everyone was under the assumption,
So-
including your board, which you've sat on for 2 years, that said, don't do it until this is done. Because we don't wanna rip up the
No.
road
so,
if we're gonna need to do it. So if it's easy that nothing needs to be ripped up, then it's he could have done it 2 years ago.
well, question, TJ, is the budget available, and could he pave it this year if they worked it out between the two of them? I mean, is it too late to do that? Could he get the contractor in here and could he pave it this year? Should John and Justin be able to iron out the timeline on it? Like, let's say October is pave time or whatever.
Let me check.
Okay.
Well,
Because if the money's
he's
there-
got them lined up. It's part of his block grant. So where he
Right.
spends his block grant is going on Russell Ave, is it going on this street, or he can use it anywhere he
Yeah,
wants.
so it's
in
only
town.
block grant money, because I'm not remembering what the warrant had in it, so it's just block grant money that's doing this. Okay, so he has some latitude on the funding, but.
So
yeah,
I think the
we need to
contract
iron-
is
I
lined
think-
up.
I
It's
think
just
we
where are
need-
they putting that tonnage?
I think we just need to clear up the communication breakdown and will just let John know that we can get the services done if he wants to pave this year. I think that's really the communication that needs to be laid out to John. And then if John says, yep, that sounds good, I can get a contractor in here for October, he'll give you the heads up and we'll get it done. And you could do that.
Yep.
Okay, so it's just a little more communication to get it done, and everybody prefer having it done this year.
Yep.
Is that what is, what sounds
I
like?
mean, I'm gonna stay out of that, I live on that street, but, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You want people speeding, you want them to go stay going slow.
I don't know, he's done a lot of work on that street to not, I mean, that was been the plan, so for him to stop now with all the work
Yeah.
that he's done on that street, it seems a little backwards.
Yep.
I just- And there again, we need some type of huge grant to upgrade water lines, and that would be part of, paving the
Honestly,
back would be part of it.
If
but-
that was the case, I wouldn't even start with Russell Ave, I'd start with North Main.
Maybe. But, and that's when my point.
Yeah.
So he's gonna
I'm
reach out to
assuming
you. He's gonna reach out to you probably tomorrow.
Okay.
I know I've got a transfer station tomorrow at 2 to have a discussion, so
Okay.
if you're around, you can more than join us up there.
Yeah, and the mains would be, any replacement of mains is a far broader, bigger discussion and based on age and
Yep.
known condition and all that. So
Yep.
that's a totally different animal.
Yep.
Yep, okay. That's why I was confused. I didn't think even mains were even being discussed.
Well, and that was where I was going with it, I think there's a confusion with
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Like, I think some of people are thinking we're changing mains, and we're not, we're changing services.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think all they need to realize is that we will be digging in the street and we don't wanna do it after paving is
We
done.
don't wanna do it after.
Right, so, yeah, cause South Main Street is kind of that example, that got paved, before the services got done on South Main Street, so that was a couple of years ago, I think.
Right.
Some, when Tom was here, I think,
No.
or just.
Yeah,
just
just before Ed
Tom.
got here, first,
Yeah.
that was one of the first roads, but
Yeah,
anyways.
but anyway, yeah,
Moving on.
that got paved and we didn't get a chance to do the services before it got paved, so.
Yeah.
They're still there and we didn't dig them up to do them, but at the same time, it just seems to make sense to coordinate those two.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for entertaining me in my confusion.
Alright, solar project?
No, my box property.
Oh, my box. So I went down there. Went down there,
It's a separate.
they do have water and sewer at those. They are metered, it is metered, so I gotta wire them up, for a touchpad. I spoke with Joel, I'm actually gonna meet with him as soon as he's around, but he definitely wants to meet up.
He tapped our sewer main without our permission.
I don't know, he's got sewer unless there's a septic system there, but there's bathrooms.
This may be a non-public.
Yeah. We'll table that for now.
Alright.
With that.
Alright. Solar project. Any update on that?
I have no idea, I don't know nothing about that. You know anything, Bill?
I know that he's waiting for you people to turn them on.
I think Mike's handling that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike is.
Well, I knew he was.
Some of these things are just placeholders also.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Yeah.
make us put-
Jude contacted me last week, and I said I'd find out what I would find out here.
Oh.
He's just waiting, but was there something about you're also trying to get a quote from somebody else?
I think it was a generic contract.
Right. I know Mike was.
Yeah, cause Mike was waiting on that, he wanted to see the boilerplate contract,
He
before.
wanted to have, from what I could get from, what Mike wrote was that he was waiting for, so he have at least 2 contractors, so just to do all the legality type stuff, I'm not just going to one guy.
Yeah.
So he was waiting for that. And so until that comes in, the revision's gotta gonna wait.
Yeah, let's wait for Mike to get back to discuss
Right.
that further. I
Able
feel like
to-
he has more information on that.
Yeah, right, it says it right here, discussion. Second quote, yeah.
So I'll tell him he's still on the running, but, you know, just advise him what's going on.
Alright, the SOP tracker with Bill. I do have an SOP for you. I'll email it to you. It's for a new composite sampler.
I wanna get this tool up and running before I start looking at any SOPs.
Okay.
Can we, after we're done, let's look at my calendar, let's see if we
Yep.
can squeeze me in for
Yep.
a half an hour or so or something.
Yep.
Staff organizations.
So,
The review of the personal policies for adoption, did we get?
Personnel.
Personnel.
Is that what I sent? Yeah. So I sent this to Mike the other weekend. I just wrote it up as an idea to adopt or adjust, obviously, because this was just my stream of conscious typing. But it's just an idea to have some documentation, just so we run a little, maybe have a little more structure to who's responsible for what. And I think it's just a good idea to have kind of bylaws for the committee anyways. It's not really anything that's water sewer specific, it's just more of board organization type stuff. But I told them that I thought that, you know, everybody can look it over, see if there's any sections that they wanna add, or if it's even, if things it's just not even worth the time to do, that's fine also. And then, just have everybody read it, not tonight, just read it over, and we can look at it at the end of, I told Mike maybe we could talk about it next meeting a little more in depth, and then if it's something that we're all interested in going forward with, we can vote on it later on.
Well, they'll discuss me, I think it's an excellent idea to do, because if
We
something,
disappear.
some outsider comes in, you know, and says, hey, why aren't you doing this, is because this is the way we do things.
I like it.
So, I read it over and I like the thing, the way it's done.
I'll have to take it home for homework.
The personnel policies, I think we wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of the town's personnel policy and the department's personnel policy. And then pull out the one that we wanna use and adopt that policy. I don't know, I haven't seen a copy of the town's personnel policy.
I got one the other day.
Just
So
for this,
the departments is, I've read that one numerous times, but,
they're almost identical.
okay, well, that's good.
There's only like literally two, that's the town.
I know Sarah had said that the reward time is not
Yeah,
included in the
I think
town's
it's,
policy.
I think the only difference was reward and like comp time, overtime, something like that.
Right, cause they get comp time, not reward time.
Are they functionally the same thing with different names? Is that what it is?
As far as I understand, yes.
How does comp time work for the town? And then once
So they could work overtime, and instead of getting overtime pay, they could put comp time away. Now, the
Sure.
one thing we had to modify on that, which I don't know if it's in there or not, is you cannot put a stipulation that they have to use it within a certain time frame. The only stipulation you can say is they have to use it within a year.
okay.
Where we had originally on there, I think you had to use it within 30 days.
And is that yeah, because ours is 14 days. So it's
Right.
kind of similar. Down here it's just called reward time, but it's the same exact thing. So comp time and reward time are
Yeah,
it's
that's
just a nomenclature.
that was the one thing we had to
difference.
change because apparently there is a state law about that.
Now, is that applied to exempt employees only, meaning salaried employees only, or is it applied, because you can't not pay overtime for hourly employees, I don't believe. Ours was for salaried employees only.
That's a good question, actually thinking about it.
I'd have to find it in here.
It might be 4-4, because that's what it is under ours. It's overtime, comp time, reward hours are all 4-4, 4-5.
Compensatory time off, comp time.
If I remember correctly, non-exempt So the salaried employees do not get that ability. Because they're salaried, they have fluctuation in their hours. But I know also the state requires that if you work over a certain amount of hours, even as a salaried employee, you have to be paid overtime.
Okay, so I get it. So this is probably what makes this actually work. It does still say within the 30 days on here, just so you know.
That should have been removed.
Yeah.
It should say a year, because
Okay.
that was also brought to our attention because
Is it within by the end of the current year or within 12 calendar months?
I think we went with 12 calendar months because, like, we'll use John as a perfect example. Plow time, he's out there running extra hours past his normal,
Right.
and then if he has to use it by the end of the year,
Right.
he's December 25th. He'd have to use it those last
Yeah, that makes
5-6 days.
sense. I get what you're saying. Yeah, and I think the way around it, this is actually specifically for non-exempt employees, which is non-salaried employees, and it's upon their request to do it, and it's paid out in 1.5 hours for each hour of overtime they've worked. So they're getting paid overtime. They're getting paid
It's-
the 1.5 times.
It's basically the same thing, but they're using it as a basically you can
as
use
a
it
float, so they can take time off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helps them out if they used up all their time, but they worked all these extra hours and they want to take a weekend, long
Okay.
weekend,
Okay.
or a third honeymoon, or something along those lines.
Two was bad enough.
I've only done once.
And the overtime and working schedule here is kind of limits overtime anyway. Overtime will be authorized only when it is absolutely necessary for the best interest of the town.
Yep.
And done so by a supervisor, by the way. So, okay.
Like I said,
Any other glaring differences, Adam?
Those are the only two I saw.
Okay. What was the second one?
Just comp and reward, sorry, the very good one.
Okay.
I like that it calls
There's
it,
the
but
difference
it's
between the two.
differences.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember if the work week was laid out in there, because they do have different work weeks or pay weeks.
the pay week is the other thing that's different, because the water and sewer paid on like a
Monday.
instead of a Friday or whatever it is. That was the only thing I remember from it.
Oh no, I think the town employees are also paid on Monday, but it's just the next Monday. Water and sewer employees are paid on the Monday immediately following the end of their pay week. That's the difference. So like they submit their time cards Monday morning and they get their check Monday afternoon.
Yeah, that's,
Tuesday.
Well, I sign
We
Monday
get-
afternoon.
Yeah.
you have to go in there and get poke them a little bit. Go in there, buddy.
So,
When do we
I
gotta
thought,
change that?
yeah, I
Okay.
thought, why,
What?
I
They
thought we were
changed it to
changing
the other week, so
I thought we were changing that so that at least Sarah's just doing payroll.
The pushback I got from them was, from Sarah, was that they were told you were not allowed to change their pay date, and it wasn't worth
It's
the
because it's
argument.
considered
Yeah, I mean, the town
When it
went
got
from
changed,
weekly to
I
bi-weekly.
think, because it used to be,
Or vice versa.
if I remember right, it got changed a while ago, and there was a big.
because you can't take away what the employee would consider a benefit. That's what it is. You can't take away a benefit of the employee.
Benefits change all the time.
Well, I mean, like this is considered what is it called? Because we all ask the same question when it all keeps going through. Why we do 2 different days and stuff, and it was something to do with the.
I think if the employees don't care, then
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. If the employees don't care,
Well, then what happens is, so if you changed it and you held it a week, we'd go a week without getting a paycheck. Until we got caught back up, and then after termination, we'd get a check following.
Right.
So it
Like it
kinda
works
screwed
with
me.
everyone else.
in the world.
Right.
Well, you do
Yeah.
it like midstream.
Right,
Like-
yeah, it just happens to be midstream, but I was, when I worked at the credit union, they went from weekly to bi-weekly, and that's exactly what happened. If everybody was notified well ahead of time, and it was like, you are going to get paid for a week, and then you're gonna go 2 weeks before you get a paycheck, and you will have a week without pay, so
Yeah, when I
prepare yourself.
When I started with the state, there's bi-weekly pay there, so I went a month without a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
We started in that odd spot.
So then, but when I retire, I'll get a paycheck 2 weeks after, and then my retirement check. So.
Yeah. Just to, I'd like to do a little research on that, but how much lead time would you and Tobin need if we were to just make that change? If we give you a couple of months?
Yeah, I would say a couple of months.
Sarah said it's not a huge deal because we're such a small department, and also once we fully move over to Mascoma,
Yeah.
that account can do direct deposit, what Justin's actually asked about, but apparently the way that the TD Bank account was set up, it can't do for direct deposit.
And our checks are cut from the TD Bank account for now. Okay.
Once you get it, move over, we can do direct deposit, then you do direct deposit, and then it's
Really not.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know what like, yeah, it was, everybody got their paper checks on Friday, but, direct deposit came in on Wednesday.
Right.
Like, just happened to come in a little earlier because all the processing was done that way, so. All right, so a couple of months, notice on that. It just makes it easier for the office to just have it all right, and then hopefully once we're moved over to Mascoma, you can get on direct deposit and just make it like easier. I would never want a paper check.
I don't know. We used to have direct deposit here, and I used to get a portion of it done, and I went a few weeks without it being put in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah, that should never happen. Well, also in that it's not in all too distant past, the labor board was down giving us a long ration at the selectman's office for all kinds of different things that happened in that. So they're very, that's why she didn't want to change it, because they're very sensitive to all that now. So I think we're probably okay with, if that's what you want to do. I mean, you still get a paper check if you want. I get a direct deposit for the tiny little bit of money that I get for this, and it comes through just fine.
Yeah.
Such a sign of
Do you have to ask for that specially? Because I don't think.
Yeah, I got it. So as a trustee of trust funds, I got a stipend in there. And
All
that's-
kinds of.
Yeah, well, I'm just rolling it.
Oh, now I know how you can go to Alaska.
Yes, exactly. I think I'm
How we got that excavator?
I come up to $800 a year. I mean, break that down to the hour, and it's at least $1.
I don't think so. You don't get, I'm thinking, that's for here.
Yeah.
$1 an hour for
I
here.
put 7 hours in.
That's nice. It's 7 for the town.
Anyway, I digress. Courtney, carry on. Sorry.
Contract for the superintendent. I haven't seen I guess we'll table that till Mike gets back.
I feel like Mike's working on that one.
I'm pretty confident Mike was on
Yeah,
that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
He'll be back next.
we'll table that till next week. All right, Justin?
Yep.
All right, hang in there, buddy.
All right.
The job positioning update. Posting, rather.
I think postings have been done.
Yep, so it's on NHMA, and it's on,
Granite State?
Yeah, Granite State Rural, it's a hard word, Rural Water Association, and they're gonna email it out to, they said they have 1,100 licensed operators in the state that will, they get an email every Friday, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I get them.
This post will be.
I get
will be on
duplicates
there.
of them.
That's good. We need
So that's
duplicates of
probably,
this going out.
if everybody gets duplicates, there's probably only, what, 550?
Let's say 1,100.
With all the openings, there probably is only 550.
So that job posting was for another licensed operator?
Yeah, this is a assistant superintendent.
Gotcha. Office
Yeah.
admin.
I haven't put together a list, but I started to put together a list.
That
There's-
20 hours that we talked about, is that, you think
Yeah.
that still will work, 15
Yeah.
to 20 hours?
Yeah.
We should put
Yeah.
together that posting for that as well and just get it out there and
Yeah.
get it listed. I think that's an important thing to
Yeah,
have, especially if we can get a
absolutely.
part-timer and,
I'm
somebody with
getting
some good office skills.
inundated with
Our-
paper,
Yeah, and I-
file, and input, and
Yeah, and I know what it's like to try to be in the field and then get back to the office and cram in an hour or two in the office, and
Yep.
it's not ideal. It is not ideal at all.
no.
What about Tobin's computer skills? Are they?
I was thinking about that. I want to test the waters with him on that.
Yeah.
Maybe doing some data entry.
Yeah. Throw a spreadsheet
So-
in front of him, see
Yeah.
if it goes
Do you know
across.
what- do you happen to know Excel?
I mean,
He is only 23.
yeah,
so
right,
he's-
that's what I was just gonna say,
But-
he's like of that era,
He
that
should-
might be
he
like.
should have
But
probably
he
more
doesn't.
tech skills.
He doesn't act that way. I'm
No, he
very
doesn't.
impressed. He's not like a Gen Z or whatever it is. He is.
Whatever that-
He's
the
an
latest
old
generation.
soul.
Yeah.
He really is. He has
Yeah.
no problem getting his hands dirty
Yeah, good.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressive. He.
So he's a good fit for now.
Yeah, just as an update, so we're working on the pump, the blue pump. We hooked the jumper cables up to it off the Ford. Having to look over, and it's puking fluid. So I get in this morning, and he's already here. He's got the inner fender well off the thing, and he's like tucked up in the wheel well. It's like, it must be nice being that small. You would fit right up underneath there. He had the thing ripped out. That was him texting me. He had to order it was a power steering low pressure line,
Yeah.
a return line, and we got it. It was like $40 at AutoZone.
Yep.
I sent him to Keene, and they had to order it, but he was in Keene, said it was in, and he picked it up. So
Nice.
we'll have that in. So we hooked. In the meantime, while we brought that over here to get it out of the way, we hooked up the Kubota, letting the thing charge, and he looks out the window and he goes, "Oh, that's not good." We run out there, the thing's smoking like crazy. I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Run out there, shut it off. It was overheating, and so he ripped that apart yesterday, and it was the serpentine belt that smoked on it. So he got a serpentine belt for it too. So we'll throw that in. So we'll get those taken care of. So it looked worse than what it was. I was seeing thousands, but it's not even $100. So you get both of them fixed.
Yeah, if you're not pumping water,
Yeah, yeah. So
RFP updates.
RPs,
so back to the job postings. This is kind of a little bit off topic from that, but it does say something about licensed operator here. So are we working on Tobin for, prepping him in every way possible for the OIT
Yes. and
license
he's
test in December?
all about it. There's a water prep course. I just got Granite State's putting on a water prep course. It's for treatment and distribution,
Okay.
and he's all about it. Wants
Good.
to do it. So
Okay, good.
and he can take that immediately, I believe. But yeah, he's coming in, learning the labs. He does the labs. I have to oversee him doing it, but it's good to make sure he's doing it right.
Yeah.
And, he jumps right on it, and
Good.
he's taking on pretty quick. So
Yeah, because when I sent you that posting from Keene, where they are looking for an operator, but technically they're looking for a person to come in and become an operator, and then it outlines in that schedule within, what does it say, within 6 months, you will have your Class 1 OIT, and so this has, it's very structured in stipulations as far as when you get the job, it doesn't stop there. You need to pass these tests and within 18 months be OIT on Sewer 2 or something like that, however it was laid out, but it had it in the job posting itself.
yeah,
So I know we were planning on that with Tobin anyway, but I just found that interesting as to that's how they're basically hiring the people on to begin training and lay that right out. So
and I filled out today. Ernie got the good graces from Hinsdale, so I filled out today the multi-plan endorsement with him, so that way we can kind of work together.
good.
In case of emergencies.
It
So.
sounded like DES was gonna have no trouble signing.
I
up.
don't think
Okay.
so. So
Right.
I forwarded that up. That was on the online forums, and then I sent him an email just to give him a heads up, Dick and Mark, say, hey, just so you know, I filled that out. So
Good.
actually, it said it's not due until like next month or something like that, but hopefully they get on it, so. I know Ernie's getting burnt out. He kind of stressed that today, that every single day sucks.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have regular help, does he?
No. If he needs help, Ernie just does the wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah.
But they have water guys, licensed water operators that will come over and give him a hand if he needs
Yeah.
something.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So go to the RFPs.
RFP updates.
So the chemical feed portion was awarded. They signed the contract. It's over there. The electrician was in there. He had a couple things for us, which Tobin jumped right on, and we got a bunch of barrels moved out of there. We have a chemical delivery. He's got them all rinsed out. He's got them organized by vendor, because we got Holland, we got Astro, and we got Harcross. I ordered chlorine, which we needed for the wells. I ordered that from Harcross, so when they show up tomorrow, those barrels can go.
Is that like a deposit or something that we have on those?
Yeah, it's like a $50 deposit.
Okay, so when they get it
Really?
back, we get.
Yeah.
Huh.
I didn't realize.
There's quite a few of them.
Well, here's the problem. A lot of those barrels are Holland. He's got them rinsed out. We got them stacked on pallets over here. We can't return those.
Okay.
I don't believe there's a deposit on them, but we can't return them.
Is there covers for them? Are they
Yep, they
sealable?
seal. You wouldn't be able to use them for food or
Right.
anything like that,
Yep.
just because they're chemical in them. But
Can they go to the landfill and be put in the compactor?
I have no idea.
Well, it should have a recycle number on them, right? So
Yeah.
like they should be able to recycle them with number 2.
Yeah.
Just put them in the
We
compactor.
got
and
them
bail
over
in.
there for now. We used one because we drained all the fuel out of that pump, and he's like, "Where do you want?" I'm like, "Just take one of those barrels, fill it up,
You know?
whatever you gotta do."
I think we should be.
Is there any reason why we wouldn't want to give them away? I mean,
I
I feel like this is
just-
something people can use, waste
I
oil
don't
and
know
stuff like
if
that.
We should.
If
So
it's
when you-
something that was dangerous in there that we don't
Well,
want
it was, right?
No, that stuff's not really dangerous.
Would anybody mixing something?
I mean, I wouldn't drink it.
Well,
Drink
Well, that's
it.
what I guess is what I'm saying. A lot of people use it for like the animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah, I
I don't
wouldn't
know,
use it
from
for
a
anything.
municipality
food
standpoint,
quality.
I think we just talk to, what's his name, runs the dump?
Justin.
Yes.
recycle.
And just take them down there and put them in the baler, because that's what they do with plastic.
Yep.
And crush them.
Yep.
And just send them out in bales.
Yep. One thing we don't want is garbage hanging around.
Yeah.
You know, if it's something usable for us, we want
Yep.
to keep a few of them for.
Yeah, oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
a few of them.
Yeah, definitely, but,
They-
there's no sense in
When we-
handling this.
So when we did the chemical addition, that's why we had those totes. Those 4 totes piped together so we could get a bulk delivery.
Yeah.
Bulk delivery is cheaper by the gallon than ordering barrels.
Yeah.
And then we're not.
Are they the
barrels.
ICB style, the ones in the metal cage, right?
Yep.
Are we gonna go back to that, Justin, or?
No, hopefully we're gonna
Oh,
be
so
getting away with that. It's going in the headway.
So that's gonna take care of that whole unit down there, that's like going away?
That's what my understanding of it is.
Oh.
So,
Isn't that the one you got over there?
Appreciate it.
yeah. Whatever.
Them things are incredibly good.
Oh, holy shit.
I know. Keep them away from me.
I'm on a diet.
That's why I haven't touched them.
I have to lose 13 pounds, so.
Oh, just try a crumb.
No. Keep them away.
Justin!
I'm trying to eat healthy.
Take a couple home to your kids.
I'll do that. They'll love
There
them.
you go, yeah, absolutely.
Anything to keep them up all night long.
Summer.
Oh, that's great.
They have a hard enough time going to bed as it is.
So the pre-con meeting went well. I heard
It
a
did.
little bit from Mike. What do they need from you? And I mean, obviously clearing some stuff.
Yeah,
out there,
basically
whatever,
that was it. He said he was hoping to start within 10 days, so
Okay,
we'll be
good.
right in and out. I think it's going to get delayed a little bit because there was a little confusion on the what they were going to use for a float switch
Okay.
for the chemical. So there's going to be a float switch in there that turns on the chemical feed, and then also the water, the carry water. I suggested that a float switch probably wasn't going to work very well because it doesn't come up in the trough only
Where's
a
the
couple
carry
of.
water come from?
It's
That
going to come from the.
introduced?
Yep. There's a spigot out there.
Okay, so that's
So they're gonna-
introduced water as part of the
Yep.
injection.
Just to
process.
carry it. Originally it was going to be constant, and I was like, don't do constant.
Yeah.
Because
Sounds-
we're on a well here, and
Not to mention-
our well's going to be kicking on and off all
I
the
mentioned
time.
we don't need much, that much.
So
more
they're talking putting this an actuator in there, so it'll only run when everything kicks on. So, and then the float switch, he's looking at what there is because it only comes up this much. So they could, where it cascades down, they could put a float switch inside there where it's gonna actually kick it on, and by the time it reaches lagoon level, it'll shut back off. They wanted to put it in the trough. I was like, that's really not gonna work unless you went to an ultrasonic. You can put an ultrasonic in there, but he said that'll be more difficult with.
And that's because of the moving material that's in the trough?
Yeah,
Anyway?
because I mean, yeah, it pumps at 940 gallons a minute on average when the well's going, but you've got a 24-inch trough. It doesn't. 940 gallons a minute isn't much in a 24-inch wide trough. It's only coming up this much. So if you think of a float switch, it's got to come up before it kicks on. It's
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah.
So he's looking at different float switches that just have a little.
Yeah.
But I think down where it cascades down would be the best. So that's something they're working on, and they were in agreement with it. They were in agreement with the carry water.
So what's the, in the end, are they gonna have a full-blown schematic for this?
Yep, they're supposed to,
Operating
yeah.
procedures for
Yep.
whatever the maintenance schedules and all of that stuff's gonna be part of all this?
Yep,
So
I
you're gonna
agree.
have that stuff when it's done?
Yep.
Okay, are they gonna do any sort of like training on this or whatever when it's finished? I don't know how complicated it actually is without being at the meeting.
I would hope so. I would hope at least the engineers would step in on that one.
Okay. I wouldn't hope for it, I would ask for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing, I replied to Mike when he sent this out, I know it didn't go to you guys because it was VCC, but I think we should put together something for public consumption about this. Like, people are, I think, still worried that we're not doing anything down here because they're not seeing anything done. So now we've awarded a contract and work is beginning. I think we should put out a 4-paragraph press release that says, as part of the, whatever the right wording is, of the plant upgrade piloting, such and such contractor has been awarded a contract for the town of Troy Water, blah, blah, blah. Because I think it's important that they see something is happening because the public still just, sludge hasn't happened yet, so they're getting.
Yeah, I think each time we have a milestone, we
Right.
do it, yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
Mike's reply to me was just that it was, he wants to get an answer on when sludge happens so we can kind of roll it all together, but I think that's even more reason not to wait until we get the date is
Yeah.
because we don't have a date.
Yep. And it would be, honestly, even if we spoon-fed it a little bit, it would, people would see that it's happening over time.
Right.
Each of these things are happening over time, and if we do it all at once, then they won't realize that actually things have been happening before this update. And,
Right.
Yeah, no, I would agree. So who's volunteering for that 4-paragraph? Looking at you, Adam.
I was looking at TJ, he doesn't do much.
Won't go out because July, August, the September edition's the next one.
No, I mean, like, we'll put it on our website, or the town website, and we'll see if we can get the Sentinel to run it.
What run it?
Huh?
What run it?
Sentinel?
Oh, I thought you said something else. Like what?
And just to have, the Jane Smith share it as just like a, no comments attached, just here's.
There we go. The Jane Smith shared and block comments.
Right.
That's
Just so
fine.
that's a release to people so they can see the progress.
Just information.
So I don't mind writing it. Our next meeting's not till the 14th, which I guess is fine. So I'll have it for the 14th.
Oh yeah.
How long does it take for them to do the project? They said they were gonna be getting started inside of 10 days, right?
Yeah.
How long to complete the project?
He didn't say, but it wasn't gonna be very long.
No. Like multiple days,
Yeah.
or multiple weeks, or?
No, he said like a week, 2 weeks maybe.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be very long.
Yeah.
It'll be right in and out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, there was discussion of they're gonna have a trailer or any of that, you know, like a job site. He's like, no, there's not gonna be any need for it.
Yep.
Or a porta potty. It's like, you can use the bathroom here.
What's the plan for dismantling and maybe repurposing the Connex unit that our old feed system was used for? What's thought on that? I mean, it's not a rush, but
I haven't got I talked to Tobin about it a little bit, but I was thinking it would be nice to just clean it up and use it for storage.
Yeah. Yeah, the last time I looked in this one over here, it was like,
Yeah,
that could stand to be
honed out.
pulled out.
Yeah,
Big time.
but I mean, if we even stacked it beside that one,
Right, yeah.
or
No, they're very handy for that.
They are, or even what would be nice too, actually, now that I think about it, is if we took that one, spun it around this way, put the other one a certain distance beside, and just put an overhang
Yeah.
and span across the two of them, and then you can just park something underneath it that you don't want to, something you want to keep out of the weather, like trailer or something.
Yeah.
You want to keep snow off it in the wintertime.
Okay.
That would be really nice. So, and then have storage in between.
Yep.
That one's all insulated too, so
Right, that's right.
we don't, which I don't think we need
Yeah. it's-
heat in it,
yeah,
but
that's interesting anyway. Yeah.
as far as the complete mix, they're still working on getting. They have a contractor lined up. They ran into another issue with something to do with banking. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they have to, I think Mike gave me a quick rundown on that when I was talking to him yesterday. So it's required that they have a line of credit financing to cover various costs associated with the project. And that needs to be a letter of, I don't know, a letter of intent from the bank or a letter of credit from the bank, something along those lines from their bank. And that's been some pushback from the contractor as far as being able to provide that or why they even need to provide that. So
Yep.
I don't know what the end result of that is going to be. I don't know if we need to be looking for another waiver like we were looking for the bond. And we were talking about the bond yesterday. We weren't really clear on what kind of bond it is, whether it's a performance bond or a surety bond or what actually the bond was. But anyway, we've got the waiver for that nonetheless. So yeah, so on this part of it, don't know if another waiver is going to be asked for by Underwood or not. So that's all I got on it. It sounded like it was in discussion, which is frustrating because DES wants us to get these things done. We have a limited number of contractors that actually qualify for doing this stuff, and then they have to jump through all these additional hoops that
Yes.
even they don't want to do, and when if they don't want to do it and they're willing to not take the project on because of these additional hoops that they have to jump through, that tells me everything I need to know about their schedule. That means they're full. They don't need our work. They don't need this job, you know. And it's like, to be put in that position is tough for us. Hoping DES will give a little more wiggle room here to try and get this stuff done.
Yeah.
Because we can't be demanded to fix our problems and then be hamstrung the whole time as we're trying to do it. We need to be able to get some of these things done without so much red tape. So we just did complete mix and sludge removal, Courtney, and went over that. So
Run a new business. Pest control generator or other areas.
So I put traps up at the tank site or at the pump station.
how'd you do? How'd you make out?
Haven't caught anything.
No, damn it! I love looking at the lunch.
I don't. I check every day.
What's in there? Damn it!
I don't. It's kind of a bad time of year for it.
Yeah.
Fall and wintertime, that's when they really get in there, but.
I pulled in the shop and Herb was letting an opossum out of a Havahart trap that he had captured at one of the apartment houses.
Nice.
We've been catching. Apparently, Melon catches everything you got.
Yeah.
Catches we had groundhogs, possum. Anyway, I
Oh.
digress.
Billing and shut off payment plan SOP.
I've got a paper here somewhere for you guys to review for payment plan request.
Is this a new one or?
It was in my box a couple days ago. Last
So
week.
somebody up to
Yeah.
the White House engineered this?
Mhm.
Oh, this is just, I thought it was someone looking to actually do it.
No, just in a form.
We never had one of them before, or in the past, rather?
Let's see, she did have something. Because she would put it together based on basically what their bill was. And she would break it down into monthly. So they would pay X amount each month to get them caught up.
So what do we give them, like?
Is there one copy of that? Oh, the other stats.
Yeah, Justin just pulled that out of the thing.
Oh, okay.
Probably send it to before we call for it.
I would change this a little bit. It's, so it says, I further understand that failure to pay as promised will result in rejection of any future payment plan requests. I would change that to may.
Right, you don't
You
lock anything
can't,
in.
you just can't lock in like that
Right.
because then
The future board might change.
Yeah, and it's, you can't keep track of who screwed up. I mean, once they get caught up, it's, you know. So, yeah, the last line reads a little funny. So I further understand that failure to pay as promised will result in the rejection of any future payment plan requests in addition to the interruption of water and sewer services. I get what they're trying to say.
Right.
Could be reworded to make a little more sense, but yeah, may seems like the only change I would make there. I'll always wordsmith a document unnecessarily. May
We've
is,
noticed.
Yeah, May is
We've
something
noticed.
May is something that should be changed, but the rest of it is just how you write. You know, it'll change how somebody writes something.
Did we ever get a water and a shut-off list? And
I don't know how formal it was. I think Justin and Adam had it, distributed it at a meeting a while ago. Water shut off, past due accounts list.
I believe I gave too much.
Okay. Mike is missing tonight.
This is what she had in the past.
And basically, it would just be edited, the resident's name is still on there. So basically, she used to break it down into monthly.
Oh, this name brings back memories.
I know, favorite tenant. I didn't do that purposely. It was the first one on there.
This was drafted by an attorney. Had to have been this the way it's written.
Yeah, herein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very much legalese.
the way we roll with that one.
It would be nothing to take names and numbers out of that and just leave a blank spot and make a draft.
I honestly, I kind of like the form, that form letter a little bit better, but I do like how this one states in it, it says, I understand, or failure to meet my payment agreement shall result in an interruption of my services without any notice, because this is after all notices have been issued, so.
That's
So without any further notice, I would add that into that, but I think a little hybrid of these two would make sense.
Here.
Jesus.
You can do it while you're
Yes,
eating
in my
cookies.
spare time, yes. But I think the way it's written, covenant this, you know, here and that is it's too wordy. It just, they owe the money. It's, yeah, it doesn't need to. You don't need to.
That's what I heard.
Understand it.
Should we make a motion and a vote?
No, you did a motion to vote for me to do the other one, so you can just do this one.
Is this just a copy or is this some original of yours?
That's the original I got with me. You want me to make a copy for you?
Actually, I need digital versions of this if I'm gonna mess around with it.
Mail merge.
Yeah, exactly. I need to, and do not want to retype any of it.
I'm getting pretty good at this machine. over here.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I like it. That's important.
Just don't start using AI.
AI?
All right.
I love
That's
AI.
how I submit my state reports.
DES immediately knocks on the door.
Right.
You're right. Do you need that one scanned too? I can email that one too. I have a copy of that.
Well, the original document, so that I can actually edit it. A scan's not gonna do it for me, Jason. Like the.
No.
Yeah, like the original document, whether it's if it's in Word, that would even be better than it. Then it's editable. Editable. Not edible. It's edible.
Kind of like those new bakes.
Yeah, I loaded those up with oils that I bought from a place down in Winchendon.
The Red Barn or whatever it is there by.
The Bud Barn.
The Bud Barn.
Bud Barn.
Well, wasn't that was it Little Anthony's?
He was a
before?
Little Anthony's Fish House for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll have Evie send the original.
Okay, thanks. And you can send it to me later, Justin, that's fine, we
Yeah.
don't need to do that right in the middle of the meeting, but just make a note of it and send me the
Yeah.
editable versions, and I will make some adjustments. Otherwise, it's good, I think it'll.
So we're on town admin, looking for answer to attached letter regarding firewall protection.
You guys should have a copy of that.
Yeah, he
Like
sent you-
100 things here.
he sent you all.
Yeah. Oh, it's sent all of them. So one of them, I just noticed. One is fire department.
Alright, so these are, everybody got one of these.
Yeah, he sent it to everybody. He didn't break out anyone special.
George Water, there.
I didn't realize it till I printed it.
5/15/25.
Oh, you should feel the paper they're printed on, the real one. Ooh. Heavyweight paper.
Oh, really? Cardstock.
Almost. I was like, holy crap, we're spending some money on the paper alone.
Troy Water Department Firewall Software Essential Protections Service Suite for TZ270, whatever that is. 1 year. Did you say there was some sort of note along with this, or was it just a quote?
That's all I have.
Okay.
I printed out it, like everything. Makes sense.
He basically won't sign it, or won't agree to it until you guys agree to it.
Say who won't?
What's the
Jeremy won't agree to it until you
reinstatement
guys do it.
fee?
Yeah, that's,
So it's
Actually, one.
5/15/25.
everybody has a reinstatement fee on it.
Basically, he doesn't want to step on anyone's toes. So police chief's gonna have to approve it.
Oh, I got you.
We
So
all
Jeremy's
have a
looking for approval
reinstatement
from.
fee? Do we know?
Yes.
We let it we let it lapse or something?
No, that's just they always charge that, according to what I was told.
From every vendor, from every account though, that's kinda.
So it's with Worldwide, as you know. Let's hold on here. So water departments. Oh yeah, it did lapse. If you look at the spreadsheet, it shows the red gate.
I'll see April 24th.
Who let
So
that happen?
everybody lapsed?
Everyone did, yes.
Okay. So it's a wait statement.
Wow.
Did they bill us and we didn't pay it, or they let it lapse and then get to bill us $70 each?
That's a
A
good
month,
question.
a month and a half later.
I would think that's the person who usually pays all the bills.
No, I signed the checks. I don't pay any bills. I signed the checks.
Yeah, I would like an answer to that question, definitely, Adam, as to whether or not the lapse was caused by WWCS or by us. We're paying this bill to WWCS, so they are the ones that are paying for the suite on their end, Essential Protection Services suite. Is that a suite that WWCS has proprietary ownership of, or is this, are they, you know, they just reselling us McAfee, or what are we talking about here, you know?
Good question.
Yeah. I'm got opinions galore, and I would love to revisit this vendor entirely, but
I'm already working on that.
yeah, if we don't, do we need it? Yeah, I would wanna know the $69 fee part of it, and I would wanna know, do we need this? Is this something required? It clearly, hasn't been that important since April.
Right.
So, I don't know what it is. It sounds like a very, broad, name, Essential Protection Service Suite.
Looks like we've been, you saw this, the check to that question. So
Yeah.
some vendor had been billing us for a website listing the town.
Yep.
And like, it's not hosting the site, it's not managing the site, it's not fixing the site. It's a listing service that they bill us $150 a year. I was like, the heck is this for? I don't even know what listing means.
Yep.
And so we're not paying it because they literally make it easier for you to find our website on the web.
Yep. Oh.
So I know this one is your firewalls, so
Yeah,
when
that sounds more important.
everyone tries to log into the system, if you do off-site work, remote into the system, this is supposed to be to stop Joe Blow from Kokomo being able to get in.
Yeah,
Or
and
the
that's
Nigerian
fine if
prince.
that's what it is, you know, if it's a required thing, then it is what it is, but.
I know the
we haven't
PD
had
in
it
town
for-
hall is required, and I think that's where I want to double check with the expiration, if it's the support that expired or if it's the actual program that expired. Yeah,
Good.
I will definitely assist Adam in figuring out what.
Yeah, because if the
Why we
PD
allow
hasn't
this
had
whole-
firewall since,
Well, you
If
broke down,
if the PD hasn't had firewall since,
but I will ask.
since April, that sounds awful. And we're just being and they're just being notified about it now, that sounds really not good. The rest of these are probably not as, you know, critical, but
This is Troy Cage.
town hall, and the town hall has been without as well.
Yeah, basically everything has been about.
Yeah, that's not good.
And it's different times. I mean, town hall's bad enough because it's got everything.
Yeah.
And it's got state computers and things like that, but the PD has to have a higher grade. If you look, they're the most expensive because they have the highest grade. Firewalls just, yeah, that's a lot of stuff on there.
Well, if it's required, minus the $69, this is within Justin's authority to take care of this. And we'll send the bill to town hall with the appropriate coding on it. Sounds good, comes out of the right account.
So I'll fire off an email tomorrow and then I'll copy Adam on it.
Roger.
And Justin.
Operators report.
Yep.
So, we've gone over the wells. So that's up and running. I do have to get a hold of the electrician on that. I let you guys, we talked about the truck, the pump.
Do we have a copy of this operating report?
No.
Okay. That's fine.
The pump, update on that, the blue pump. So, we've taken out.
What's this thing for? In case you have to move a ton of water or something
Yeah.
from one spot to another?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
nice to have.
Okay.
Very nice to have.
Okay.
It's still not running. We're not sure what's going on with it. We're getting fuel to the top to the injectors now. So it's got mechanical fuel pump, injector pumps.
Mhm.
One of them was seized. We pulled all of them. Got one of them was seized. Got that one working. And we replaced the fuel line, drained the fuel, put some diesel 911 in it.
Like I said, you got it to fire at once, or,
Yeah, it'll fire on ether,
okay,
but it won't stay running.
right. So you got.
It primes good.
Yeah.
There's a fuel shutoff solenoid, and Tobin was doing some research on that. We pulled that fuel shutoff solenoid, we tested it, it's working, but inside there, what it does is it has this little finger that clicks.
Exactly how that works.
Yeah, so, and it pushes a spring, so they said that spring is supposed to be able to move free, you should be able to reach in there and push that spring. Well, that was seized up. He got that freed up, so that's going now. We reprimed it, and we're still not firing.
Is it smoking? When you crank it over, does it smoke at all?
No.
Sounds like you're still not getting fuel.
Yeah,
Because you crack the top of the line, you get fuel from the top.
yep. We pulled the injectors, cleaned those, pulled them, broke them apart, cleaned them, rebuilt them, put them back together.
Should call Josh and see if he can come down and take a look at it.
I mean,
Is it on?
how hard is it to get the injectors out of it?
Not very hard.
Does it spin over wicked fast though?
No. You put the charge on it, it will. It's not, yeah, it's not like it's loose, like it's burnt up, but.
Well, I know, but sometimes they get dry cylinders and they won't create compression, which makes them not fire. So sometimes you just put a couple drops of motor oil in each cylinder.
Try that.
I mean, it's
Worth a
on
shot.
they run on complete combustion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
because-
being that it sat for
because the ether
3
will
years.
fire
That's why,
right
that's why I'm
up.
saying that, and then when you had that oil injector not priming itself,
Yeah.
tells me that's why you're not supposed to give them ether, because it dries
Yeah.
the cylinders out.
Yep.
So, if the injectors come out that easy, I'd drop a couple drops of motor oil in each cylinder real quick,
Yep.
and then you're probably gonna find a whole new animal.
Yep.
I mean, because if you're getting fuel in the cylinders, and the only other thing is compression.
Yep.
It's not, so.
Try that. Yeah, that won't take long at all.
And sometimes, is mixed gases going on.
Yep.
You know, or we used to soak a rag in mixed gas and put it over the intake when we did that, you know what I mean? So she's drawing oil infested.
Just so everybody knows, Danielle said I cannot bring the cookies home.
Why?
Cause she made
Oh,
another
there's
batch.
a whole bunch more at home.
I'll bring some home for the boys.
There you go.
I'll bring a couple too for
All
myself.
right.
Yeah, I'll bring a couple for my wife.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Excellent.
But we got something out of this? Yeah.
Right, so just a real stupid question I guess I gotta ask is how far of a shot from that pump station to the first gravity fed manhole?
As a crow flies
Yeah.
to the first gravity fed to here though.
Yeah.
Jesus. From the pump station to.
You gotta go across the river, don't you?
The vent.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to go up
Okay.
where the vent is, right up the road here.
How far? You thinking about just in case you have to pump
Mm-hmm.
when the power's out
Mm-hmm.
and the poo's still flowing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a crazy idea, but I mean, it's like if it gets
1,000
aside
feet
of.
probably maybe
1,000.
out
We
through
ain't
the
got that much
woods
hose, so
and
we're-
over the river, through the river.
Well, top of line, we're fine. Stupidest questions, one that's not asked.
Yeah. I let you know about the multi-plant. I did that.
You gotta come down and hold the end of the hose though. When that is going on,
If
you
bails
gotta,
this,
you
if this bails this town out of shit, I'm on board.
don't let go.
Fuck, then we get tobacco stack packed on it.
Basically just been trying to keep up with paperwork and be out in the field at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
Are you able to as we progress along, are you able to capitalize a little more on, I know he's limited in what he can do by himself.
yeah.
Are you able to utilize him in times where he can stay busy and then you can get some
Yep.
office time?
Yep.
And so you don't
Absolutely, I
have to, he
did
doesn't
that.
need oversight. And,
Yep, I did that. Had him out there cleaning the barrels
Good.
the other day, last week. Yeah, there's quite a few things he can do.
yeah, it's almost like as you're going along, just be penciling down these things that he can do on
Yep.
his own, because you're gonna need that time away from him, but he needs to stay busy, you know,
Yep,
so.
exactly.
Yeah.
And he's good at staying busy.
Yeah,
He
that's good.
Absolutely
Oh.
is. He had a few minutes last week and he took and just hopped on a Kubota and started back dragging out here, cleaning up the road. Just
I think we should kind of put some paint on Headworks on some type of priority list too.
Yep, that I've mentioned to him as well. I want the bunker up there across from where Bedrock One is.
Yeah.
I'd like to get that pressure washed and painted.
Yep.
Just so it's
Those
got
are the
some
things we
moss
need to
growing
start
on
getting
it.
caught up on, that's
Yeah.
all this stuff and that's great for Tobin to do.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Headworks should be done with a roller, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could just
Yeah.
get a 1-inch nap on it, some stain, and
Yeah.
Yeah, lay it right on it, yeah.
just lay it right to it.
The tank could be pressure washed too, but I don't want him up there by himself. I'd rather be up there.
Yeah.
Speaking of the tank, notice the gate's been opened at very odd hours.
Yep.
2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I left it
Things like
open the
that.
other day on accident.
I
The generator guy was going up there to service the generator,
Okay.
so I wasn't sure. Yep. But during the day, I've been leaving it open because I was waiting for Barry Miller to go and finish up, and I didn't know when he was coming, so I didn't want to be just dropping everything to go and run up there.
So you're
So,
aware?
Yep.
Okay.
just want to make sure you were aware, because like I
Yep.
said, at 2:30 in
No.
the morning when I drove up that way.
That was an accident. I realized it the next morning. I was like, "Shit, I totally forgot to shut that."
There's someone doing backstroke in the tank.
Yeah, they can't get in it. They need a ladder and they need the key.
Yeah.
Ladders are very easy to come by, don't you know? You can easy to see that one in it recently.
I've been up there. I haven't been in it, but I've been up there several times.
Is that something you can wash from on top of it, or is it too steep?
No, you can walk up there. It's so the last time I went up there, I sprayed it with like a bleach solution, but it did get pretty slippery.
I guess that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Is that like a lift scenario where we would need to get a lift in there, and just to clean it up?
It may be helpful.
Is there a tie-off point like in the middle of it up top that you could? actually
There's the
tie off?
vent you could tie off to.
Yeah, we definitely want to do that, yeah, for sure.
We don't need
No slip and
broken. Well, no, we don't need the broken guys. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Especially 3 months into his.
Just gonna start.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Great. I had so we have an opening, Bill. I know this is not on the agenda. On our commission, Bert has resigned. I don't know if you were made aware of that.
No, I wasn't.
We're charged with appointing his replacement. Obviously, we're not ready to have that discussion tonight, but are you interested in said position on it would be until the next election, and then you would run again if you wanted to, or if you didn't want to, what have you. But just want to see if you would be interested in being nominated for the position, and if you are, we can talk about it at greater length. I'd rather wait till Mike comes back, but
Of course.
and you can wait to respond. Maybe send us an email or something if you're interested. But just wanted to throw it out there.
No, I didn't know that. On that, I had a comment about this thing here when you have somebody that's not available. If you've got somebody who's a 5-year term, and maybe they have to go through cancer or something, and they have to be out for 6 months, but you don't want that person not to be able to finish his 5-year term. I would add another little caveat here that you can add, that you can appoint a temporary until the person comes back.
I have to look to see if that's allowed.
Yeah, that might
but-
be a legal issue.
Well, like,
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think we spoke of that before, though.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
like
because
this.
a legal voting member, even in the interim, needs to become that based on specific RSA's.
yeah.
Well, I mean, some of the other boards.
Planning board
have
has
alternates, so
alternates, but I don't know if we do. I don't know, I've never looked into it.
Yeah.
yeah, because if you have an alternate for somebody, then, I mean, the little experience I've got here, it takes a long time for you guys to get up to speed.
Yeah.
And that's not,
No,
a
it's-
negative statement,
No,
it's
no,
just,
I know exactly what you mean.
there's a ton of stuff you gotta have to know.
Yeah.
And, I'm barely keeping up with you and just absorbing what I'm absorbing it, of mindset. So if there is a way to put in, that you can have a temporary person appointed, I mean, if you've got the right to appoint something, you should be able to have somebody fill that billet until that person comes back. Because maybe you don't wanna lose that person, that's a resource.
Yeah, I think we'd have to look into that, cause I have kind of a theory on that as we're talking about it, that because the, town meeting established the 5-member board, that might be something that town meeting would have to do. There's RSA specific to like planning boards and their alternates, so that's kind of already baked into the cake. So that's something we might have to maybe do a warrant article for, again, just
Well-
theorizing here, but it'd be worth doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get it, for sure.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, you got somebody that's got 2-3 years of experience down here, and maybe they've got to take some time off, whatever personal reason it is. And you know, if you have somebody like me hanging around that is willing to fill that billet for the 2, 3, 6 months, whatever, and then the guy comes back, it might be the benefit for everybody.
It may be time to just definitely revisit all that.
Anyway, let us know on that question. That was all I had, Courtney.
Okay. Do we have non-public?
Yeah, I
Several.
we
Several.
got several.
Several.
Right, we did have, where did we, oh, the one for,
Do you have a cheat sheet on what they are?
the My Dogs one, so we'll go to that one first.
Okay.
So you guys will have to spell out the,
The specific.
yeah.
TJ's grabbing the cheat sheet right now, because I don't have mine.
That's really sad that the second page I flipped through is it.
Yeah, so, I'll make the motion to go into, non-public under RSA 91A 2C. C?
C.
That's what I said.
That's what.
That's what I said.
A 3-2C
Thank
is
you.
what it is.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, the other one is communication outside of outside of meeting.
Good.
Oh,
Are you seconding that, Adam?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Oh,
Right.
roll call.
Oh, yeah, vote.
Oh, roll call.
Aye.